Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. What does food mean to you? Welcome to the my first episode of the new year, 2022. Hoping that everyone had healthy and happy holiday celebrations for the new year. This week, I'll be interviewing the guys from the popular podcast Behind the Studs and giving tips on renovations that can make your kitchen easier to use. So stay with me. And I also just want to remind everyone to save the date of February 11th. I will be doing a Zoom event for making pizza with Chef Rocco, who is a Neapolitan pizza expert, and this will be a Valentine's Day themed event, and we'll be making pizza and a special dessert with a Valentine's Day theme. And you'll be able to sign up for this event soon on eventbrite.com. But in the meantime, if you'd like more information on it before the event is posted, you can email us at info@marialiberati.com or just stay tuned to marialiberati.com for more details on how to sign up, or you can sign up for my newsletter at marialiberati.com and you'll get an email letting you know when you can register for the event. The registration will be limited, so we'll try and get the emails out to my listeners as soon as possible. You know, preparing food can take up a lot of precious time, especially if you have a poor kitchen design. If you room in your budget for a renovation, there are several things you can do to make your kitchen experience a more positive one. Not only will these renovations make your kitchen more efficient and comfortable, but they will also improve the aesthetics of your kitchen. And you can't really enjoy cooking or enjoy your food without easy to use kitchen. So here are my tips for renovating your kitchen to make your kitchen easier to use. First tip is create a triangle. A triangle, so what does geometry have to do with a kitchen? The answer is a lot. The kitchen triangle is an efficient way for you to place three of the most important workstations: the sink, the stove, and the refrigerator. The basic idea is that each of these workstations should form the corners of your triangle. Each side of the triangle should be 4 to 9 feet long with a total perimeter that is 13 to 26 feet long. There should be no obstruction in the triangle. Now, if you design your kitchen this way, it will allow you to efficiently move between each workstation. You don't want them to be too far apart that it becomes a chore to walk back and forth, but you also don't want them so close together that you don't have enough counter space to work with. So make sure that clearly defining your kitchen triangle is the first step of your kitchen renovation. Tip 2, additional lights. Cooking in a kitchen with poor lighting is a great way to strain your eyes, get a headache, or even worse, have an accident leading to burns or cuts. You can literally lighten the mood in your kitchen by adding some additional lighting. Now, there are several ways that you can do this. If you have a major renovation, modifying an exterior wall to allow for windows will bring in fresh natural light, but that will only work during the day. So you'll need some extra lights for nighttime. Focus on adding lights that will illuminate the stove and the counters that you use for cutting and chopping vegetables. Many modern kitchens have been adding low-hanging light fixtures that give a nice aesthetic look and are great for illuminating your counters. However, you need to be sure that these are placed high enough over the counter that you don't accidentally hit your head while working. Tip number 3, magnetic storage. Most meals require that you use a host of different cooking implements like knives, spatulas, measuring cups, spoons, whisks, and so much more. And it can be a bit of a hassle to constantly be opening drawers to grab each of these items. Magnetic storage is a great way for you to keep all of your metal implements in a single easy access location. Magnetic storage consists of a large metal magnet that is strong enough to safely hold knives and other metal kitchen tools, but at the same time weak enough so that you can easily grab the items when you need them. If magnetic storage is something that you are interested in, make sure that you get one that has high safety ratings. Now, I also use this for my spices. I actually have a magnetic storage spice, sort of a spice rack, and the spices just magnetically are stored that way so I can grab them as I need them. Tip number 4, new cabinets. Perhaps the holy grail of kitchen renovations is to get new cabinets. Not only do they change the aesthetic of your kitchen, but your cabinets make a huge difference in how you organize your kitchen. The way you run your kitchen is unique, so you likely have a unique way that you want your cabinets to be. That being said, there are a few things that make things easier for everyone. For example, roll-out shelves to help minimize frustration when you need to grab ingredients or dishware. Another example is to put a Lazy Susan in your corner cabinet so that you can easily access different pots and pans. Tip number 5 is marble or granite countertops. If you disagree that new cabinets are the holy grail of kitchen renovations, that's probably because you're dreaming of new countertops. Old countertops, especially wooden or laminate ones, often have lots of burns and scars and are really overall difficult to keep clean. On the other hand, stone countertops offer a heap of benefits. Marble or granite countertops won't burn when you place hot things on them. That means that you won't have to look around for a hot pad every time you take something off the stove. They're also very hard, so it's pretty difficult to scratch or dent them. And best of all, cleaning marble or granite is really super easy. Tip number 6, an extra large sink. It's amazing how much of a mess can be created by cooking even the simplest of meals. I'm always just so amazed at how many utensils and pots and pans and appliances and things that I use when I'm cooking a meal. I can't believe, my sink is just filled with so many things that I can't believe I've used all that. But hey, with all of the pots and pans involved, you can easily fill up a small sink with so many things, as I mentioned, dirty dishes and pots and pans, appliances, utensils. This often leads to a tower of dishes that are easy to knock over and break. Replacing your sink with a larger one will give you a lot more room to work with. When it comes time to clean up, you'll be glad to have the extra room to work with. I love my really large farmhouse sink. Makes things so much easier to work with, especially with a mound of pots and pans and appliances and things that are put in there while I'm cooking. Let's see, this is tip number 6, a double oven. In a perfect world, all dishes would cook for the same amount of time and at the same temperature. Unfortunately, that simply is not the case. This can be a real hassle if you are cooking a large meal with a lot of different dishes. In these situations, having a double oven is a huge blessing. While you have your main dish cooking in your top oven at, say, 400 degrees, you can have your cake in the bottom oven cooking at 325 degrees. This can really save you a ton of time. It also helps to make sure that all your food finishes close together so that each dish is still warm when it comes time to serve the meal. And number 7, an open design. Now, a lot of older kitchens are closed off from the rest of the house. This can make the area more cramped, which really makes it difficult for others to help out. It can also make carrying dishes back and forth from the dining table a bit of a hassle. Opting for a more open design can help alleviate all these problems. It can also help make you feel less lonely when you're cooking, as you can more easily see and talk to other people. If you can incorporate all these ideas into your kitchen renovation, then you'll be well on your way to having an easy to use, efficient cooking space. If there isn't room in your budget for everything, don't worry about it. Take some time to consider which of these recommendations will help make the biggest impact on your cooking life. Then put your money where it counts the most. You'll be glad you did. And stay tuned for my interview with the guys from Behind the Studs podcast for some more tips on improving your kitchen. New year, new kitchen.
All right.
May is National Kitchen Remodeling Month, and we wanted to celebrate. And I know everybody, including me, always likes to know different little things, little tweaks you can do in your kitchen, little remodeling things. I'm always remodeling my kitchen, so I know everybody always has fun with that. And today, my special guest is Colin and Jimmy from the Behind the Studs podcast. And they're going to share some tips with us on things you can do, maybe some DIY things, or maybe just small things you can do. You don't have to have a multi-million-dollar overhaul to give your kitchen a little fresh uplift. So, Colin,
absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Great. Yeah. So tell us, any tips for my listeners on remodeling your kitchen, or any DIY ideas you can give us?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Don't stress out.
That's if you're doing a big project, right? Yeah.
If you're not on a program, have plenty of wine.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the first thing to get, a bottle of wine, and then you can start.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
That's how I start every meal.
Yeah, I think the psychology of it all in the very beginning, right now, especially in these pandemic times, is that you have to pull your patience to the ultimate, because everyone that we've dealt with, I think, in this past year and a half has dealt with some kind of problems because of the pandemic, whether it be cabinets, wrong cabinets, or cabinets that are broken, or something
or take forever to come in.
Right, appliances that are supposed to come with that.
Interrupt you. I was just going to say, I had to get, because I have a couple of, I have a test kitchen, a couple of kitchens, so I had to get a range.
Oh my!
The range was not going to come in for 6 months, and I mean, it's
right.
not a fancy whatever. It's just that the big box store I was at only has a certain amount. So I was just going to say, so yeah, we can talk about that too, I guess, not having things.
Right. Here is a great tip, because we just dealt with one this past summer, Colin and myself. And these people were moving in from Pennsylvania,
right?
And she ordered all her appliances, and they weren't there. They just weren't there. They were back ordered. So I suggested to her, go to your local scratch and dent store. Right. Go to a scratch and dent. Get those temporarily. They'll come in. I mean, it was a lifesaver for her.
Yeah.
And she was very happy that she had something. And it worked out great.
Yeah, appliances have been really difficult. Those have been affected quite a bit from this pandemic. Definitely, like you said, the range, but the one that I keep running into with all of my customers is dishwashers. Those seem to be the most difficult to find. I mean, it's just crazy.
Oh, yeah. I've heard even now, electrical parts. I know an electrician, and he was telling me wiring and all that. Now it's either really you can't find it, or it takes long to come in, or it's 5 times the cost than it was a while ago, because there's such a small supply.
Yeah, it's right up there with the chicken wings now. Now it's got the ultimate.
Don't bring that up. I'm very sensitive about that.
Telling you.
I get very upset about this shortage of chicken wings.
Well, it all runs parallel.
I know.
You can't get a stove. What's the sense? You don't need it because you can't get your wings anyway.
Yep.
But I heard
somebody was on the news or somewhere. Of course, you can't always believe that now, but they were saying about, a lot of people in the summertime think, okay, now's a great time. I'll redo my kitchen, but they said not so fast because you better make sure you can get everything to redo your
Correct.
kitchen. So I guess, you have to take it slow.
Yeah, I mean, kitchen cabinets. About this time last year, it took about 4 to 6 weeks to come in, which is pretty standard.
Yeah.
Now we're up to about 12 to 13 weeks to
Oh,
get cabinets. So you're talking about triple the time. Building prices have gone up 300%.
Yep.
Last year this time I could get a 2x4 for $5. Now it's 11. It's just absolutely crazy. How fast it's climbing, and it just doesn't seem to be changing right now.
no.
So
Right.
I mean, I know some of my
Goes up and
customers on the
up.
larger projects are holding off. They're going to wait to spend all that kind of money and hope that the prices come back down, by spring of next year. But I'm not confident it's going to come back down that far. So
I don't.
There's been a there's, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't think so. I agree. No, no, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing that I just run into in the last two customers I dealt with in kitchens, because of just the prices of the cabinets and everything else. We have a couple here in Connecticut where you can, you go through the procedure, you give them measurements, give them pictures, and they'll measure them for you.
Uh-huh.
And you can also get them where they ship them to you on a pallet, but you assemble them,
Oh, okay.
or you can hire uh, through that company a contractor to come in, and they'll assemble them, and then they'll put them in. And sometimes that can save you thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
thousands of dollars. And you still get the soft close, you still get all the bells and whistles
Right.
if you want them on the cabinets. But you save a little money if you have some carpentry skills. It's A B A B A B. Open up the box, put them together, and then you can do it yourself if you want.
Exactly.
Uh,
And that's a
don't
great
do it with your spouse.
Don't do it with your
Don't
spouse.
do it with your
No,
spouse.
no,
No,
not a divorce
really.
city, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
not because the cabinet stuff that's out there now. It's I'm not bashing IKEA, but it's not IKEA. I mean, it's really good quality. It's the same
Right.
quality that you get if they were already made. You just have to build them.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a great idea. So that's a good way to be able to, get cabinets, save money, but you can still, and I think redoing cabinets is like one of the best ways to give your kitchen a real refresh.
I agree. And there's products out now where you don't have to take all the finishes off and sand them down and spend all that time. Now you can just paint right over them,
Yep.
with the different
I
products
was
that are
just
out
going
there.
to
So,
ask you, what about
yeah.
something like that where you just do that and then you replace the handles to give them an updated look?
There you go.
Yeah, when you just when you think of something small that you can do to your kitchen, just
Right.
changing the hardware alone on the cabinets can make it look like a completely different kitchen.
Yes,
Yeah.
I definitely agree, and I think that's an easy, definitely an easy redo that people can do if they can't do anything else. Definitely, and that's a
Yep.
great way to do it without waiting for cabinets or spending money. And sometimes, the older cabinets, because I had an older house that I had gotten, and the cabinets were real wood, and you
Yeah.
find that a lot. So I did not want to get rid of those cabinets. So we did something like that where we redid them, repainted them, and the handles.
Yep.
Well, I had somebody do that, but still, I just didn't want to get rid of the real wood cabinets. It's really difficult to find now, or it's
Right.
premium cost.
I am in the same boat that you are. I ran into that issue at home,
Yeah.
and we had more of a country kitchen,
Uh huh.
and not like a high end, very modern kitchen, but the
Yeah.
cabinets were country-ish, and they were wood.
Uh huh.
And she wanted to paint them, and I was like, "It's all on you. You do it. You do it." And I can't believe it. She did it, and they came out freaking great. They came out really, really good.
Uh huh.
Like Colin was saying, there are finishes out there now, and there are bonding agents that you can do on cabinets
Right.
with a very light scuff,
Uh huh.
and it adheres. The primer adheres very well.
Right.
And you can either use a foam if you're doing it yourself.
Uh
You
huh.
can use a foam roller,
Uh huh.
which gives you a very, very, very clean finish.
Mhm.
If you're a little bit more skilled,
Uh huh.
I have a battery powered spray gun, And those work out. Those are fantastic. Those are really, really. We talked about it on my show. Now they're made by Graco, and you can get them at your brick and mortar stores, Home Depot or Lowe's carriers.
So you use the spray gun to spray the cabinets?
Yes.
Oh wow!
Yes.
I'm sure that makes it quicker too.
It makes it quicker, and you have it. It's got the tip that they give you that I have is like, wow. I mean, it's really, really nice. I just this past weekend, I have never sprayed so much trim in all my life. I was way up in New Hampshire helping a buddy of mine, and I had to prime it, and then I had to give it a semi-gloss finish, and I was so impressed. I was like, wow,
Really?
it looked like it came out of the factory. It came out really, really good.
Nice.
Unbelievable. Well, they're definitely all great tips. Any last tip to tell people? So cabinets and redoing them yourself, that's definitely a good quick something to do. And I like definitely the note, don't stress, because I think we all do that. Don't you think that?
Right.
Yeah.
I do the same thing when you look at a kitchen. It's like all of a sudden you want to do, you want to knock a wall down and do all this crazy stuff, and then it's like, wait a minute, have to step back and kind of pull back, and it's like, okay, let's take it a little bit at a time. I think people sometimes overly stress, I guess.
Yes, they do. But a couple other tips too that I just want to make sure
Yes.
your listeners are know of. Another thing you can do is definitely replace the kitchen faucet. That can make it look a lot nicer. There's a lot of nicer, more modern looking, faucets out there, not the traditional ones that a lot of people have, from many years ago. And also definitely a tile backsplash. If you can, if you know how to do tile work. If not, you can hire somebody to do it. It's reasonably priced, and unless you get really crazy with the backsplash, the tile that you pick out, I mean, it should be, something you can get for about $10 or $12 a square foot. So
that's great.
Yeah.
And that's great. Definitely good ways. And I think they have some. I've seen some kind of. Maybe I'm wrong, but don't they have something that kind of sticks on now? That
they do.
Really easy, like these squares. So,
Yes. Yep. They sell those now. Yep.
I'm not sold on those.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sold on them.
I haven't really. I just remember going past those when I've gone into one of the big box stores. So I'm not really familiar with. Oh, okay. So,
that could end up as another form of terrorism, because you could put that on and then you go, oh, I don't think I want it right there. Well, sorry.
exactly. Or it could drop. You could find it in your soup, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Could
Right,
you imagine? Yeah, having a party and all something, falls right off. Great. Well, what are we having today? We're having shrimp with GAF.
Yeah.
The last thing that I think that one of the hurdles that the wives feel in the kitchen is the color. If they're going to change the color in the kitchen, if they some just change the cabinet doors, or they may want to just brighten the room up. If they get new cabinets or cabinet doors and they're going to change the color, they get really it can be very frustrating, because their countertop, their cabinet, and they want to get something that's going to be neutral to both. So what I tell the customers is this: like this kitchen that we're doing now, there's a north side and a south side. You got windows on both sides of the house. I said, that's wonderful. 2 coats on that wall, 2 coats on that wall, and I guarantee you, after they dry, it's gonna look like 2 different colors. And she came back. She goes, "Oh my God! I came in here this morning. It was much lighter. Look at it now." I said, "Yeah, it was the same color. It doesn't, it's not that special stuff. It's just the way it is. It's the way the light's hitting it. Look at it when you're on a gloomy day. How much different it's going to be.
Yep.
Sit with it. I tell them, you don't have to make a decision in a day. Sit with it for a while and see if you really, really like it.
And there's so many colors today too. I mean, they
pick
just
a white.
keep adding these names and these shades, and I'm baffled by the whole thing.
Go ahead,
Actually,
pick a white.
Yeah,
Just any white. Put a white up on the wall.
my wife would
Really?
be like, "Which color do you like? This one or this one?" I go, "They're the same." She's
Same
like, "No,
one.
they're not." I'm
How
like,
do,
"Yes,
how
they
do you
are."
guys tell this? I can see they hit the green. There's a little yellow.
Nope.
No, it's white to me.
Yep.
Next.
Crazy.
gosh, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Colin and Jimmy, thank you so much for sharing that. And we, definitely because everybody's always remodeling not only their kitchen but their home. So we want to make sure that my listeners check out your podcast, Behind the Studs. I love that name.
Thank you.
Thank you. People get a little upset. People get a little disappointed when they see us because they're thinking,
Yeah, is this gonna be on video?
yeah,
I'm
right.
not sure I did my hair.
That's the studs. No, it's the
No.
show, the studs. We're
Right,
not the
that's not
studs.
the studs. Yeah.
We're not studs.
The studs behind the guys.
That's
Yeah.
it.
We got that
Yeah.
straight. You're not studs.
Right,
No,
thank you.
we're not.
Thank
Not at all.
Modeling, so people are
Right.
disappointed. But
Yes, we're
we have a
very
lot of
serious.
Great remodeling tips. So great, Colin and Jimmy.
Yeah.
thank
Yeah,
you
we do
so
work with
much.
our shirts on.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's the other thing. So don't want you to be disappointed, but they do work
Right.
with shirts on, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
right.
cook with your shirt on too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. We all do.
Yes.
All right.
Well, thanks
guys.
for having us. We really appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much, Colin and Jimmy from
You're welcome.
the Studs podcast. We'll be checking you out again. I'm sure we'll invite you to be a guest again. Thanks
Excellent.
again. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Maria Liberati Show and joining us, and thanks to my producer, Britton Roselle, and the guys from Behind the Studs podcast for sharing their tips with us today. And I just want to remind you, save the date of February 11th at 2 p.m. I will be doing a virtual Valentine's Day pizza class with Neapolitan pizza expert Chef Rocco, who is from Rocco's Dough in Miami, Florida. And this will be a really fun event, so please save the date. I will be announcing as soon as you can register, and you'll be able to register on eventbrite.com. So keep a lookout for this event. You can also sign up for my newsletter on marialiberati.com, and we'll send you an email as soon as the registration is open, because registration will be limited. So please join us. I'd love to meet everybody. I get to see everybody's faces when we do these Zoom events. It's so much fun. And also, you can find my book series. I do have a book called The Basic Art of Pizza. So if you'd like to learn about, some recipes about making pizza and some interesting stories about pizza, my book, The Basic Art of Pizza, is available on Amazon and Kindle and anywhere books are sold. And you can get all of my books, including the Gourmand World Award-winning book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, on my website, marialiberati.com, on the publisher's website, artoflivingprimamedia.com, and anywhere books are sold. So please check out my books and the recipes, and, please continue sharing the recipes and pictures of the recipes you create. If you would like to send them our way, you can send them to us at info@marialiberati.com, and we'll share them on the Maria Liberati Show website. So please share them. And thanks so much to everyone for liking and sharing and reviewing the show. And also, you can find me at marialiberati.com. You can find me on Twitter at Maria Liberati. You can find me on Facebook at Chef Maria Liberati. You can find me on Instagram at Maria Liberati, on LinkedIn at M Liberati, and on Pinterest at Maria Liberati, and my Roku channel, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking by Maria Liberati, the Maria Liberati channel on YouTube. And until next time, peace, love, and pasta.